continue forever. The scene was so shocking that I didn't realize my entire life was unfolding. I saw things I didn't before. I wish I could have kept all my knowledge, which helped me understand everything. I saw sacred geometry and archaic runes on the walls and grasped the cosmos language. That raised my awareness. Every geometric shape and symbol seemed to hold life's secrets. I felt deeply linked, as if being introduced into reality's fundamental truths. End of chapter 1. She felt like she was in a tunnel when she first met death. It appeared more like a path to other realms than a location. What felt like seconds on Earth felt like centuries as we traveled through space and time. She instinctively understood the tunnel's patterns and symbols as the universe's language. As she traveled, her consciousness grew, revealing life's basics. Tunnel symbolizes the transition from this world to the next. Patterns and symbols represented a common language, implying interconnectedness. These symbols were milestones in her path to enlightenment and deeper understanding. Because her experience was timeless and the tunnel so long, it became evident that afterlife time is different, where present and past merge. This first leg of her adventure prepared her to explore higher worlds with an invisible power that mirrored her self-awareness. Chapter 2. Decision-Making Portal. As I approached the entryway, I felt a deep peace. Because everything was so exotic, the sight confused me. It instantly became a large wooden door with a handle, which relieved me. I understood this transformation because it happened quickly and smoothly. I don't know if my will alone caused the transition or if someone else did. Possibly the whole dimension moved to make it easier to understand. I knew the door, though. I could hear my kids sobbing for me the whole time, so I felt connected to Earth. I died in the hospital after 2 emergency C-sections. I was always re-engaged by them. This ordeal prevents me from having further children. I hesitated to open the door since my baby was wailing. From the door, I felt a pleasant, non-urgent welcome. I knew there was no better moment to decide than now. I stood caught in space, contemplating my options. There was no rush, but it felt forever. Despite the brief event, I could tell years had passed. I deliberated slowly because there was no urgency. I unlocked the door but didn't enter. End of chapter 2. As the tunnel ended, she reached a doorway. It was confusing at first, but then it looked like a wooden door with a doorknob. Despite her great desire to go, her baby's familiar cries made her hesitate. She waited for what seemed like a lifetime, debating whether to enter a place of beauty and knowledge beyond words. The doorway determined whether one would return to Earth or ascend spiritually. It was difficult to combine her worldly attachments with spiritual progress, yet it marked the difference between living and transcending. She seemed to be suggesting we all struggle between familiarity and adventure. The door's transformation showed an unseen path that seemed to be guiding her, echoing her inner dialogue. Her spiritual path took a backseat to her child's needs, and her refusal to enter showed her deep obligation and love. Chapter 3. Being Light. Everything around me had a personal, timeless aura. This presence seemed to surround us all, yet we didn't feel it. It showed no signs of life and didn't look like a being. Neither dead nor lifeless. In another world, it was genuine. This presence lingered forever. Power existed from the beginning and would always exist. I am amazed and marvel since neither it nor they appropriately explain this presence. Our limited 3-dimensional language cannot express it. While in this distant realm, the spirit warned me to be careful. They advised me not to enter unless I was sure I didn't want to return to my previous life. Their polite but strong instruction emphasized the gravity of my decision. I stood at the door, peering out into a wide, strange space. My intellect and heart were tormented by the choice. I was curious about what was beyond the door since it seemed intriguing and alluring. End of chapter 3. She felt an inexplicable glow at the doorway. This presence was countless and beyond the corporeal cosmos. It communicated through rapid, profound comprehension. A being with everything and nothing gently encouraged her to return to Earth only if she was sure she didn't want to. This presence manifested great direction and understanding, showing how everything is interconnected. It was an enlightened conduit independent of life and death. It was shapeless like the spiritual realm, where identities mix and transcend distinctiveness. This meeting provided great understanding at the intersection of finite concerns and limitless potential. Her interaction with the apparition highlighted the gravity of leaving this world and the sanctity of free choice. Chapter 4. Life-Giving Tree. Oh, what I witnessed is indescribable. It almost looks like a tree. The tree of life comes to mind. No matter what this celestial essence is, terrestrial trees reflect it. It was so amazing that thinking about it overwhelms me, but the memory is so clear, like I was there. I desperately wanted to enter, but I couldn't leave my child. For what seemed like an age, I was gripped. I learned about planets beyond my wildest fantasies through that doorway. Beyond our comprehension is a wealth of information and beauty. There was an incredible serenity that defied time. Every minute felt like eternity, as if one were held in eternity. The wise words that escaped that doorway inspired awe and admiration. I felt connected to the universe as I absorbed the cosmic insights. Everything appeared to spring to life before my eyes, revealing inexplicable mysteries. The experience left an unforgettable mark on my soul, revealing a reality beyond our daily perspective. As I floated into that vast expanse, I glimpsed the cosmos' amazing tapestry of life. With each new understanding, I went further into introspection and expanded my awareness beyond this world. I found consolation in knowing that not all mysteries are meant to be understood, but felt and experienced. End of Chapter 4. Through the door, she saw a magnificent tree of lifelike landscape. Its exquisite beauty immersed her in spiritual enlightenment and onness. She seemed to remember the vision forever. Since her concentration was on her child, she couldn't really experience this spiritual awakening. Because it symbolizes the onness and interdependence of all things, the tree of life is significant. Its trunk and limbs symbolize life's constant flow and reality's interconnection. This rare glimpse into the divine blueprint of the world provided her great insight into the secrets of existence and the origins of life. Chapter 5. Returning. The realization that I wasn't ready hit me. A subtle hint, an unsaid knowing told me to return when the time was right. I had a strong instinctive feeling of direction, not words or shapes. I was suddenly back in my body, which stung. It felt like a rebirth into mortal life and fleshly form. It was like putting the tent back in its bag after unfolding. You wrestled and hoped nothing would fall out as you tried to fit everything back in the bag. In the weeks that followed, my mind would glide above my body. Earthly stability contrasted with otherworldly locations I had seen. It was both disturbing and enlightening to return to a physical body after experiencing the infinite. Every event made me realize how interconnected everything is. These events were more than memories. They shaped my life and awareness. They inspired me to explore the unknown and gave me direction. End of Chapter 5. After contemplating the edge, she decided not to cross. Returning to her body and the intense pain were shocking. Change confused me. In the weeks that followed, she had out-of-body experiences and felt trapped between dimensions. Her return to Earth symbolizes the difficulty of adjusting to life following a near-death experience. Anguish and bewilderment contrast the physical and spiritual spheres. Those who enter these realms and try to balance their heightened consciousness with daily life struggle throughout this time. Her relationship with the spiritual realm has changed permanently. Now, the lines between this life and the next are permeable, and they alternate. Chapter 6. The Mask. I was caught between dimensions. A pale-faced man often appeared in my nightmares, transporting me to that world. I had seen this guy before, even in other forms, while I was dying. When I ask for a key he desires, he appears in my nightmares. In our dreams, he emphasizes the need of accepting this key. Even after his explanations, I don't get the key's purpose. I'm terrified because once I have the key, I can't go back. My anxiousness makes me reluctant to take that final, irrevocable move. Since returning, my interactions with the pale-faced man have been peculiar. I'm interested and scared about each encounter due to its secrecy. His mere existence hangs in the air, reminding us of the thin link between our reality and the incomprehensible beyond. I wonder what this key means and what trip it represents every time I see it. It may expose something deep I'm not ready to face. End of Chapter 6. The pale-faced man appeared in her dreams and obese. This otherworldly figure appeared twice. once near death and once afterward, and delivered her a vital key. He attempted to explain, but she couldn't understand. She kept thinking about the man and his key after the occurrence. He may be her spiritual mentor or higher self, but the pale-faced man is also a guardian or guide. She doesn't understand the key's deeper meanings, but it represents knowledge. His constant presence in her life reveals that her spiritual journey is never-ending, with new insights and tasks appearing regularly. The key, which symbolizes opportunity and choice, invites her to explore spiritual depths whenever she is ready. Her uncertainty reflects the dilemma between wanting to learn and not risking injury in the face of revolutionary change. Chapter 7: Uniting and Realizing Spiritual Potential. I felt soothing vibrations from everyone and everything. The world awoke in ways I never expected. It seemed like the plants and animals could communicate with my spirit and tell me what they needed. I felt their emotions and vitality for the first time. I felt a connection in every interaction. I became an emotional sponge, easily absorbing others' emotions. I could feel their joy, despair, dreams, and worries. This heightened sensitivity was thrilling and overwhelming, making me more aware of my surroundings. It was a spiritual tie. I felt the startling, unearthly pulse whenever someone entered the fourth realm. Chapter 7: Uniting and Realizing Spiritual Potential. I felt soothing vibrations from everyone and everything. The world awoke in ways I never expected. It seemed like the plants and animals could communicate with my spirit and tell me what they needed. I felt their emotions and vitality for the first time. I felt a connection in every interaction. I became an emotional sponge, easily absorbing others' emotions. I could feel their joy, despair, dreams, and worries. This heightened sensitivity was thrilling and overwhelming, making me more aware of my surroundings. It was a spiritual tie. The acute consciousness that had plagued me for months had back, and it was worse. Though it happened before, the impact was larger this time. As usual, I wondered if this heightened perception would ever end. I kept thinking about it even though I didn't want to. I came to appreciate the depth and intimacy of these sensations. I felt like I had uncovered a previously undiscovered level of reality that had always been there, but had only just began to reveal itself. End of chapter 07. She felt a parallel universe beckoning her constantly. Near-death experiences profoundly influence her ideas and judgments. She yearned to return to the beyond, but she also wanted to fulfill her earthly duties. The allure of this heavenly realm reminds us of the spiritual realms beyond our physical life and reflects her near-death experiences. She symbolizes her quest to understand the spiritual and material worlds as she progresses through this tug of conflict. Everyone wants significance in life and meaningful relationships beyond money. Chapter 8: Planetary Life Force. Have you felt the Earth's soothing pulse under your bare feet? The warm, welcoming Earth seems to have a life of its own, which is great. Have you sat with a tree and sought to connect with its ancient wisdom through wind whispers and sincere conversation? Think about the tremendous sense of belonging and peace such an encounter might bring. After embracing a profound skill, have you considered letting it go? My humble belief is that we all have this gift waiting to be discovered. However, we often hide it in our thoughts. Drawing on such a profound connection with nature can be scary. Even if we're unaware, the prospect of feeling such deep emotions and learning our environment's unwritten language might be scary. A fear of the unknown prevents people from completely embracing their powers. We instinctively know that these events can change us in ways we can't imagine. Some of us may be afraid of what we could hear if we listen closely, while others may be afraid of how we would feel if we opened our hearts to everything around us. End of chapter 08. She described the trees and the ground shifting under her. This strengthened her connection to nature and gave her a unique worldview. She felt the planet's species life and vigor more deeply than ever, and she revered them. The soft swaying earth and her discussions with the trees indicate an intimate link with nature that blurs human nature boundaries. This event represents a return to a primordial, intuitive lifestyle that views nature as a living, dynamic being. This reflects the belief that the earth is alive, nurturing, and self-aware. This chapter advises returning to nature to realize the sacredness and interdependence of all life. Chapter 09. Call of the Fourth Dimension. It's all your secrets and knowledge draw me daily. Their subtle yet enduring charm draws me to explore their depths and learn everything they hold. I want to experience the knowing, deep understanding beyond the everyday. Every second increases the desire to grab that key and enter that doorway. If the key just opened the door, I would understand its purpose better. It seems to be something more fundamental that needs more in-depth comprehension, which I hope someone can help me with. End of Chapter 9. Chapter 10. Demise Present. I want it all and want to live longer. A rare gift. Life is a unique adventure for a few. I want to experience age-related information, see the world as immortal, and watch my kids develop. The emotion is complex and deep, making it hard to express. I feel like I'm walking between two universes with one foot in each. My hope is that others have felt this also. I feel alone when I talk about my experiences. My biggest fear is that my words won't reflect my sentiments and that I'll sound ridiculous. Tell me I'm not alone in this. Please tell me I'm not alone in this difficult attachment need mix. I feel like nobody understands my confused feelings, which I can't put into words. If anyone else has felt duality, please let me know. Or I need to learn how to connect with people more personally to understand them. End of Chapter 10. Ultimately, she chose to love every moment of her life. Being human, she wanted to watch her children grow and see the world through their eyes. Despite her deep understanding and connection to another realm, she valued experiencing human life's ups and downs. The gift of mortality makes human existence valuable despite its constraints. It's a continual reminder that our tangible memories and ties are priceless and important. She stayed because she appreciates life's love, growth, and change. Thank you for listening to today's Afterlife story.